The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're going to conduct a sea trial of the newest launch from Hargrave, the 116. She's beautifully laid out for entertaining guests and overnighting up to 10, and as she's slated for the charter set, there's a distinct separation between the guests and crew. But this is all about the operations, so let's start with a look at some of her operational features before getting to the numbers. We'll begin with her pilot house helm.
Of course, we have access from the side deck. As we head to the helm, it's just ahead, and the helm is on a raised deck. 4 19-inch displays giving selectable information and all flanking the 2 Cat engine displays. To the right-hand side, analog gauges for the fuel and water tank levels, and over to the port-hand side, manual switches for all of the bilge pumps. Moving down just slightly, system detection panel, controls for the Naiad stabilizers, Furuno displays, engine start-stops, control for the 2 windlasses, wiper controls, and the engine backups. Down one more level, more controls for the displays, remote control spotlight, bow thruster control, autopilot control, control for the forward-looking infrared camera, engine controls and other VHF, and the 2 Northern Light generator controls.
The boat is also equipped with 0-speed stabilizers.
There's a beautifully intricate wood steering wheel and a breaker panel. Pair of STID helm seats, both fully adjustable, flip-up armrests, adjustable seat backs, and over to the far end, captain's workstation. To the back of the helm deck, L-shaped seating surrounding a high-gloss pedestal table, so we have a captain's view and can enjoy watching the captain while he's working. Over to the starboard side is another workstation, plenty of open real estate on the top, storage underneath for full-size charts, and more storage underneath.
Now let's look at the Flybridge helm.
Well, this time we have a starboard-mounted helm. Twin 19-inch displays flank the panel, where we have the Cat engine displays in the center. All of the engine controls are right in the middle. Displays for the Furuno are controlled from both the port and starboard pads. VHF, autopilot, thruster and engine controls are all to the starboard side and well within reach of being able to be used while looking at the starboard side. Now, if we have to do a port side 2 docking, we can simply come over to this side and use these controls that keep us well within view of the port side while our hands are on the controls. The helm seat is a double wide, so we have an extra set of eyes looking forward, plus we've got a double wide seat over to the port hand side. And of course we have a control station at the aft deck, in this situation, to the starboard side. To both port and starboard we have heavy-duty line handling gear with stainless steel hawse holes and rollers, and Maxwell warping windlass with a foot control switch just ahead. Fully forward, the ground tackle is handled by a pair of Maxwell 4500 windlasses. The anchors themselves are mounted to both sides of the bow, and we can handle the all-chain rode through a hatch in the center of the deck.
The engine room is accessed from the aft crew quarters through the transom door and then a heavily sealed waterproof door. Let's take a look.
Here we have a beautifully gleaming white engine room. Pair of Cat C32 Acerts at 1925 horsepower each. Plenty of headroom. Air conditioning over to the starboard side, 16 tons, and it's all chilled air. The Northern Lights generators to both sides, each one 65 kW. Now looking over onto the port hand side, we've got a Headhunter head system that treats all of the waste on the boat and discharges it clean. Just ahead we've got 2 water makers. I've got easy access to the checkpoints, the oil fills, and the fuel filters, 2 for each engine, and there are switchovers so they can be changed on the fly. We seem to have easy access to all sides of the engines.
Naiad hydraulics are controlling both the at-rest stabilizers and the 65 horsepower bow thruster.
Remaining hydraulics are powered by the power takeoffs at the end of both engines. In the center of the engines is a sea chest. 1 through-hull fitting leads into this sea chest, and everything that needs water gets drawn from here. Now there's 2 feet between the rails of the engines, and the overhead dimension, 7 feet. That is by design so that both of these engines can be serviced completely by raising them up and getting to and removing the oil pan underneath without having to take the engines out of the boat.
Now, while we weren't able to get test numbers, Hargrave has done extensive testing on this boat, and what they found was that at half load and those 1925 horsepower cats running at the cat recommended cruise setting of 80% load and 2100 RPM, the 116 cruises at 18.9 knots, and she can keep that up for just over 754 nautical miles. Dropping the speed will increase the range fairly linearly, so there's no best cruise per se. Of course, running her at displacement speed will produce a significant increase in endurance. For example, 1100 RPM will have her running at 10 knots, and that will open up the range to nearly 2008 nautical miles, all while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 7,000-gallon total fuel capacity. As for handling, it's all luxury with a sedate feel throughout the power curve. Of course, we were given a calm test day, but long experience with Hargrave has shown that none of the models in the lineup are lacking for their seakeeping abilities. Freeboard is 8 feet at the bow, dropping to 7 feet 4 inches at the stern. Turns remain level, and even when trying to get heavy-handed, the 116 keeps turns relaxed and all on board comfortable. Well, yet again, the design team at Hargrave have produced another model that is not only a capable ocean-going yacht, but also has the comfort level that allows her to compete in the demanding charter set with its elevated level of luxury. But that's another video. Be sure to look for it. For now, that's my sea trial of the Hargrave 116. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.